So we are back, and today we're going to take a look at the Power of the Prime's Dreadwind figure. This isn't tabbing in right. There we go. So there he is in his jet mode. Looks pretty good. Obviously, this is a retool of one of the aerial bots. I think Air Raid, maybe. I don't know. Who cares? One thing I want to point out is if you're buying this for like R mode or something like that. Let's see, R mode. On mine anyway, that is not gonna happen. This hand is not staying in whatsoever. Let's see if I've got a foot. Use foot. We'll see if the foot plugs in better. A little bit, but not. I mean, it's a little bit better for the foot than it is the arm, but it's still, I mean, slightest touch, it's gonna fall out. This is just, I mean, this is what happens when you retool something 10,000 times. I honestly have lost track of how many times they've retooled this mold. It's ridiculous. Anyway. So this thing's stupid anyway, so, you know, you got the two thumbs and the fingers here. So, you know, it can form a hand, but it has to be a two-thumb hand, I don't know. And it's got that stupid, like, little plastic cover here that's supposed to, you could put up Prime Master, whatever they call them. I really don't care for this line. Like, this gimmick in this line, I really cannot care for. Now, onto the jet itself. Looks really good. You got the gun here. You can plug into the back or under the wings, you know, wherever you want to. So it's this gray plastic, and it's got this great teal paint on here with a Tempograph silver and Decepticon logos on top. Again, it puts the Voyager paint to such a shame. You got this gray paint here, it looks like. Yeah. And then more of this teal red here and here. This is purple plastic, but you got the gray paint here that matches everything perfectly. Silver paint, red paint. Silver with that little Decepticon logo tempographed on. I mean, they really outdid themselves with the paint on this particular figure. It's so good. And then the Voyagers are so bad. I don't understand. And you're paying more for the Voyagers. I just don't get it. So transforming them, untab the arms here. Pull the wing assembly out like this. Then you can rotate the arms up and around. Just like that. Pull the legs down. We've done most of this transformation. It is still a heavy retool from the aerial bots, but not nearly enough to make it completely its own. Pull this in and it will peg hole here, peg here, tabs in. This rotates down, tab that in, and you can just kind of have the wings on the back of the legs here, almost like a ramjet, or the Conehead Seekers, which, you know, perhaps that's a sign of what's to come. And then you take this simply here, this will rotate back, plug into here, rotate the head around, and there you go. Yeah. Again, I mean, we got such a 90s paint scheme. You can hold his gun just fine. Such a 90s paint scheme with the teal, the purple, the gray, the red. But it just works so well with this particular figure. I really enjoy having him. Head is on I think it's a ball joint, but you really just get the left and right, a little wiggle, no up, and just a smidge down. Arms rotate up and down, in and out. Bicep swivel. Kind of a soft ratcheted elbow. That fell off. So that's not the greatest. Waist swivel. Hips around ball joints. Thigh swivel. Bends at the knee. Nothing at the feet. Outside of that, I think he looks great. Scale comparison, here he is with Prime. Classic Seeker, who fell earlier, and I have to kind of put him back together real quick like. So yeah, he's a little bit bigger than a Seeker, shorter than a Prime. I think it scales pretty good with Chug. I don't know the character, so I can't sit here and be like, oh, this guy should be, 5 heads shorter than Optimus Prime, and I don't know. He wasn't in the G1 cartoon. But what I will say is you put him with the Titan Return. They were supposed to be Target Masters, but the Headmaster. You put him with those jets, and I think he fits in pretty well to have kind of an alternate Seeker Armada, which I'm absolutely loving. So I know there's going to be a second jet that comes out, and they're supposed to be able to plug together somehow. Again, I don't know these characters, so I can't tell you exactly what is going to happen with that, and if I'm excited or not. But I can say that I'm excited to add another jet into my little armada here. If you had all the Seekers with them. See, yeah, the Seekers are starting to get, I hate to say it, but they're starting to get really dated. Because they look so G1, and these guys all have like a slight Neo aesthetic to them. So it's getting to the point where the Seekers just are not working anymore. And of course, the new Seeker mold is garbage, but mine's missing a head still. I never found it. I never found the whole head. Anyway, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I think the arm falling off, that's mold degradation, and the hand not being able to plug in, that's mold degradation. These things are going to suffer from them. I mean, this is a retool from Combiner Wars. We're talking years and years ago. How many years ago was it? 4, 5 years ago? 3, 4? I can't remember now. But it's been a while since Combiner Wars was first coming out, and this is still getting retooled. It's beyond ridiculous. They really need to just make a new mold. They should have made a whole new mold for this guy. I don't know why they didn't. Or at the very least, maybe use one of these guys and say, you know what? For this one, we'll say fuck the Combiner gimmick. But other than that, I think it's a good jet for the price. If you're a Chug collector, I definitely would recommend him just to pick him up and add him into your Armada. Outside of that, there's nothing spectacular going on here. It's just a fun jet. So as far as I'm concerned, so far these Power of the Primes Deluxes are successful in just being fun toys. Outside of that, I couldn't sit here and say like, oh man, they're a marvel of engineering, but they're fun.